All right, we're live. We're so glad you are here. We're really happy to have you and to talk about your team and the investigations. I'm Ashley. I'm from Kentucky. I'm with Newsom Paranormal Group here. And then I'll let David tell you who he is. But I think you already know David. You're friends with David. So,
Oh, yeah.
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 everybody knows David. And let's see.
So, what do you got on the agenda coming up?
Sorry?
What do you got on the agenda coming up? Or is there something that you recently done?
We've got we're doing an investigation in what's it called, Gemma? I can't remember. The shopping mall thing. Can't remember what it's called. Royal Arcade, that's it, yeah, in April. So that should be interesting. Underground shopping centre that's like a lot of the front shops are still there, and
it's Victorian, isn't it? Is it Victorian? Yeah, Victorian.
Oh,
wow.
It was discovered when there was actually building something, and someone was like the building like come across a old street that had like been buried over, apparently.
Oh wow. Okay.
That'd be great.
That should be interesting.
Are there a lot of stories about it? Like, have you heard a lot of stories about it? Are people seeing things there, or is there what's the history behind it? Much?
Well, from what we've been told about it, there's a lot of activity there. What Robbie's told us.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of things. He hasn't told us like everything about it because he said he wants us to see for ourselves. So.
Do you all usually research places before you go, or do you like to go not knowing and then researching after the fact? Because I know different people do it different ways. You know what I mean?
I would say
we do both, don't we?
It's a mixture of both, isn't it, for us, really?
Yeah.
Some places we're going blind. Like, I don't know where we're going this week coming up, but we'll be going out again, won't we? We go out virtually every week now, so. But this time Friday we did indoors, but we're going to do it like I think once a month, maybe indoors, aren't we?
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time go out. So
that'd be good.
We don't decide till the week, innit? The actual week we don't. So when we put surprise location, it is literally
a surprise.
Yeah, that makes it fun, though. You know, don't you think it does? I think that makes it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ashley was asking that because I know a lot of investigators and researchers, they'll sometimes don't want to know anything about the history. That way they can see if their results and the history matches up, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did one a couple of weeks ago that I took you to, didn't we? We know nothing about the history. I was on my way to work. I used to see this building, like an old motel, and there was a Chinese restaurant next to it, all derelict. And I was like, I bet that's really, really good to investigate. So anyway, I took them all out there one day, one night, and we didn't do no research on it or anything until afterwards. We were sat in the car on the way back, and Gemma and Amanda was going through the phones, looking at all the history and everything. But yeah, what we found there was Amanda and Anya went off into the Chinese building, the Chinese restaurant, and they actually sort of found, Anya got pictures of what looked like to me as a chef.
Oh, wow.
You know, in his white coat thing. And me and Gemma was in the motel bit, and we actually got quite a bit of information about a little girl. We had a little girl talking, and then these two came back over and said that they'd found a hole in the wall or something. And then on the way back, we was researching, and apparently a little girl had died in there, and she was buried in the wall.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then you got a picture of a hand that's like
Yeah,
out of the wall.
That's amazing. That is amazing. The picture of the hand is absolutely amazing.
Is that
Wow.
what is the best picture that you've ever gotten? Is that probably one of the best? Because I would think that was pretty.
I think the ones that Anya took there were amazing. The ones that she got.
I'd say
Yeah,
that one
I really
do.
do.
That one, or when we did the house investigation, where I got the picture of the little boy,
Yeah.
where you can see everything, you can see all his features and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Like a full apparition of a boy?
Yeah.
What was did you find out any information about that? Like who that was or who you think that was or anything?
Just his name.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. You know,
Do you still have those pictures?
Yeah.
Do you
still have those pictures you can share with us?
Yeah, I mean the pictures as well. She's actually put them up on the page, haven't you? And the group, I think some of them down, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd love to see that.
I would too. When we get done here, I'll share the link to your all's page again on our wall and on Dark Hope Paranormal. So if people that are listening want to see them, they could go to your page and look them up. Okay, because that's pretty amazing. And I know some of the groups, they investigate for a long time and don't find a full body apparition or something that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the hand, right? When you see the hand that she took, the picture of the hand, you'd think that it's on the wall because it's that solid, but it's like a black. If you look at the picture, it's like an arm and the hand.
Wow,
looks like it's coming out the wall, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can see it really clear. It looks like it's on the wall, so I think that's why people didn't really take much notice. But it wasn't there. It's just what Anya's took, and it's.
It wasn't there on the wall before she took the picture.
Good morning, Sam. That's Sam chiming in here.
Hi.
Hey.
Thank you.
Sam's with an investigating group out of Tennessee. He does really good work there. So, but yeah, I know one of the reasons I was asking, like David said, some of the groups they'll investigate before and get that background information and research, and some don't want to know, like we were saying. But I saw a group, and I can't remember the name of it, but they did something that I liked. They had a researcher with their team that investigated the property they were going to, but put the information in like a sealed envelope. And they did their first part of the first half of the night. They didn't open it. The whole team had no clue about the background and everything. And then halfway through the night, they opened it. They read that, and then they asked more direct questions about the history. The second half of the investigation, and that was really cool because they got both worlds, I guess.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that was pretty smart because I can't remember where they were, but they were able to ask more direct questions with names and things that second half of the night of things they'd seen, the first half that they had no idea about what it was. So I thought that was a pretty neat way of doing it. But so do you all have just that? Do you just have the one coming up, or how many do you have coming up? You said in investigations.
Oh, investigations wise, we do like one a week.
Yeah, but we've got that big one coming up in April, haven't we?
Yeah. So,
yeah, that's not like quite a few hours.
Friday is usually our day.
Yeah.
Friday.
Oh, I'm jealous. One a week sounds great.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. I know a lot of people only go, a lot less frequently. They only get to go like once a month or less. But I know a lot around here, you have to travel quite a ways to the bigger places. But do you all do like we said, a lot of like old abandoned homes and things that maybe aren't investigated as much, or do you like to do like?
I mean, I don't know. I've never seen anybody. The place we went to, that motel where Nikki took us, I didn't even know it was there. Do you know what I mean? So, and I've never seen anybody do that before. So,
yeah,
it was quite interesting to do. And also the other place we went to as well, which was I know other people have done it because that's who told us. But an RAF building, wasn't it? Yeah. We went to like abandoned one, which was actually quite dark, I think, for Anya. And when you got into the place, there was definitely something, because I could feel I knew somebody was there. When I went into the other room, I knew somebody was there, and I could feel I was really drawn to this area, like this corridor, and that's where Manda and Anya ended up going, and it was quite dark.
Okay.
I could feel it, it's like almost like someone was watching you, like from the minute you go in, you can just feel it. And that draw, I was just being drawn to it, but I didn't want to go down there because it was, I don't know, but they went down there.
These two went down, didn't they?
Yeah, and me and Nikki stayed in another room. And while I was in the other room, though, which I thought was amazing, the REM bear, literally from the minute it was put down, it was going absolutely crazy in there.
Oh, yeah.
So I was pretty amazed by it. It's like super active on it. Yeah.
It was going on for ages.
Yeah.
It was quite good.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Do you just remember off the top of your head of a location that you went to that you just couldn't do after you got there? Or you started the investigation and then you just got this feeling, hey, no, that's it. Let's go,
That one. I think that was the one of it. The one.
It was actually that one.
The one that stands out.
An hour or so.
Yeah.
And we had to leave because obviously we always say safety of everybody is most important. So if
definitely.
one of the members is obviously, because Anya got physically attacked, she got scratched quite badly. So we decided it was obviously in the best interest to go, because that's always priority for us. Even if we're doing other experiments, if something's not right, it'll be stopped.
Yeah.
Right.
Because safety is always important in it. So
yeah.
Heck yeah.
I think that's wise. I know there are groups that do stay. The more activity like that, they'll keep staying. I'm always just afraid. You know what I mean? I think that's just smart to leave if you get hurt like that.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, the thing is as well, it's the after effect. It it could make you unwell and things like that. So it's like,
right,
not worth risking.
Yeah,
really not.
Have y'all ever had anything like follow you home or activity at home from an investigation?
We have activity here, but it's not really followed us home, I don't think. I think it's always been here. But we do investigations here in our house, which is active. I don't think anything's really followed us.
What kind of activity do you have at home? I mean, is it scary? Are you okay with it? Just wondering.
No, I'm fine with it. You have your normal like bangings and the movement upstairs when there's nobody upstairs and
things moving.
Yeah, things moving. You put something down and it's like not there when you go to get it. Yeah, I mean, we have seen orbs here.
I've seen a full body figure in your bedroom.
Yeah, she says she's seen a full bodied figure in my bedroom, but I've not seen that in my bedroom.
Just let you know he's still there.
She's got a portal in what was her bedroom. It's not now.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I guess that leads to one of Sam had commented here. He said that he had a nasty witch follow him home from some investigation he did, and he had to get rid of it. That sounds kind of scary. I know attachments and things can happen, they say, so I don't know. But that made me want to ask y'all, do any of you then, because I know you talked about like being drawn to one part of the room and that investigation and things, which I think everybody to a degree, has things like that happen, but do you all have abilities or people on your team have abilities of any kind?
Yeah, I think we all do in different ways. But yeah, I really do.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, I've had experiences since I was a little kid. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen things, felt things, heard things.
I think a lot of people in the community, I think they do have something on some level, and that's probably why they are drawn to it. The
Yeah, and
curiosity
I
of what's
think
going on.
even Nikki with the motel, because she was drawn to go to that place, and obviously the stuff we found out after it was shocking, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like she was pulled to it. So yeah, I definitely think there's some places pull you towards them, don't they? So
Yeah. That yeah, and I think that's really good though, because I think that if you have abilities like that, it can help you, like you said, seek out where you need to go next. And it probably makes you get better evidence than some teams that maybe don't have as much of insight like that, So you are very lucky in that way. I'm sure it's probably helped you capture some of those pictures you got and things,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time we used the laser grid when we was out in the woods, it was going, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
So
we do a lot of wood. Sorry?
I would have loved to have been there on that one.
Yeah.
I
think you do get a lot out, don't you? Like Nikki's just saying there, and like in the wooded areas, don't you? And nature and stuff. Every place we've been to, it's surprising, isn't it? Like the activity.
I mean, one of the places we do like to go to is one of the woods. It's got a lot of history to it. It used to be, it had a prisoner of war camp on it. It was like, you had your old black markets, you had an old house there, and some people have been killed there. Some people have committed suicide there, but it's got a lot of history to it as well. And it's just every time we go, we always seem to find something different.
Yeah,
that's great.
Well, saying that, we sort of picked up one spirit in particular in one place.
Yeah,
which was actually a little girl that we went to, which was the woods, and she's been on and off with us for a couple of years on it, or a year, or I don't know. I'm not good at timescales, but for quite some time.
That's been a couple of years, hasn't it?
Pardon?
Sarah, it's been a couple of years.
She's a little girl. She's 7 years old. She's called Sarah. She, from what we got out of the information, she was murdered.
Oh wow!
And she took a shine to Anya, and we had communication with her and stuff, and we asked her if she wanted a toy, and we went through different ones. And when we got to the doll, that was it. She wanted a doll. So it took us a while to go back. But when we went back, we bought a doll, didn't we? So bought a doll, took it there. But then she ended up just like making more communication, and she comes through every now and then. Not all the time, but not continuously, but every now and then. But she sees Anya as a sister.
Wow.
And Anya's got both as well, hasn't you?
Pardon?
She claimed your doll, didn't she? But she wanted her own, so she got her own as well. So yeah, she's had a couple, but was very fascinated by the dolls, and she was very specific as well about a certain doll, like what she wanted it to look like, what hair colour she wanted it to have,
what dress she wanted.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty specific. That's interesting. That I know a lot of people are scared to death of dolls and things. Have y'all ever investigated something like an object that's haunted, like a doll or something, or have you ever? Some teams have investigated a thing, an item.
Well, we have actually once, haven't we?
Yeah.
Did we have 1 week? One doll that was supposed to have stuff with it, or was it 2 weeks? Was it 1 or 2 weeks we did it with it? But it was weird, wasn't it? The doll.
Yeah.
But there was 2 of them, weren't there? We did it with.
Yeah, we did it with one of them other ones that from the group that we was in before.
Yeah, one of the little ones. There was a really horrible one that had been used in all sorts of stuff. Apparently, we got told it had.
Like
but it was
in rituals or something, or like
Yeah, all sorts of stuff, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was in the right mess, and I didn't like it. Well, I didn't like this doll. But the other one that was supposed to be negative, we didn't get negative stuff from it, did we?
Oh wow.
No.
And when we put the SLS to it and stuff, it's moving around, like the arms and stuff, and it's like, how is it doing that? You know, like it shouldn't be doing that when it's a doll, but it was like moving. And we did actually get too near each other one time as well. And we said, reach out your arm. One of them reached out his arm, didn't it? To the other one. So it was like, it's crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's creepy. But I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing, though. It really is.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so I suppose that would sound creepy to some people, but usually with us, if it's got that sort of thing, we'll go towards it.
Yeah.
Instead of going away from it. Yeah. So yeah, but dolls out for everybody.
Yeah. So
we've got a REM doll as well, so
those work well.
Dodgy eyes.
Yeah, those seem to work well, don't they? The REM dolls, y'all get good results with it usually.
It's only gone off like once or twice, hasn't it? To be honest, the doll.
Yeah.
The favourite is.
I think it's because its eyes aren't straight. It scares them.
Yeah.
It's put some shades on.
The bear more.
It's got cockeyed eyes. It's got one that's pointing straight and the other one's off to the side. It's really weird.
It scared me. I don't know if it scared them, but it sounds like it scared me.
Yeah, but the bear and I think, like, obviously the music box.
Yeah.
It goes up that. It goes up a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I absolutely love the music box, I swear.
Is that your favorite piece of equipment that you all use, or what's each of you, or do each of you have a different favorite that you think is the most effective, or you just enjoy using it the most?
My favorite is the board.
Music box myself, but the dowsing rods are still really good. I still find dowsing rods to be like simple but effective. They're like one of the older forms, and I think that we get a lot of movement with them, so I love them. But electrical wise, I think the bear and the music box, maybe the music box more. I don't know. It's hard to choose, really, I think.
Yeah. Sam's on here saying he wants one of those Boo Bears, the REM pods and everything, and that they're good. They are expensive sometimes, you're right. They're good.
Yeah, they are.
I know a lot of people, some people say they love the dowsing rods and like pendulums and things, and some people don't like things like that they feel like can be altered or whatever, or influenced. I like those things myself, but is there any piece of equipment that you all don't like that your team, that you all just said we're not going to use that, we don't really prefer that, that's something we've had no results with, or you maybe think it's flawed somehow? Like some people don't like the apps, for instance, on your phone. Some people love them. You know what I mean? It's just everybody has their preference.
Yeah, I mean, apps, really, we use them as well. So, like certain ones, though, innit? We stick to.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until, some of this I'm learning. I'm newer to everything, but they were saying some of the apps have the word banks and some don't. And I know some people said that it's better to find the ones without the word banks because it makes it more. It's harder that you would have got whatever you got.
Yeah. There is one that Nikki's got that we use without the word bank, which is what is it? Echo Vox, is it?
The what?
What's it called?
Vox.
Yeah. I think I've heard several that have used that. So you feel like it's a pretty good one?
Yeah.
That is a
good one. Yeah, sometimes it's really quiet.
Or quite a bit.
Yeah, but you don't have the background, the white noise either, so you can hear the words properly.
Yeah, I think it's optional to have that on, isn't it?
It is, yeah, but I think it's better without the white noise. But yeah, there's also another one, Spirit Talker. That's another good one. That is a good app.
Yeah, yeah. I'll have to check that one out. I don't think I've heard of that one. I've heard of the first one that you mentioned though, because I've heard several say that they've used it. And it looks like in Tennessee, he likes that one too. So.
We use Dead Wave as well.
Death Wave.
Dead Wave.
Dead Wave. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I like hearing what the different teams are using, and because you get a lot of good information from everybody about what's the best thing to use out there.
Yeah.
Do you all have a lot of times in your investigations when, like, if you're using your phones or things though, that your batteries go drained, or is that something that's happened to you a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have power banks with us and plenty of batteries.
Yeah. See, I know a lot of people, say they don't like the things like pendulums or just, more intuitive things, but I do because of that. I mean, like, even, there's some of those things you can use even if everything you got keeps draining. You can still use your dowsing rods. You could still, yeah. So that's good.
Well, I know Gemma has good results with hers.
Yeah, Gemma does.
Yeah, Anya does as well when she's used them, like, too, when we do stuff.
I haven't got straight enough hands to do them. My hands shake. I haven't got straight enough hands
as well, like smaller ones. So, but Nikki's not so much with the dowsing rods. They're not your friend, are they?
No, they don't work for me. They just don't like me. They just constantly spin.
I know. Because sometimes you will get that as well. I think the more playful spirits, where they're like literally messing about, and they're just going, like, they'll go side to side or something, and you're like, and if you ask them like to stop it, sometimes just to stop, they will stop. But other times they're proper like, like,
not me, they don't.
Like a kid would do. Do you know what I mean? They're proper like that, like swingy. So
yeah.
Yeah.
If you all, is there any place that's like a bucket list item for maybe this year that you're thinking this year we really want to get to this location and we're hoping we get to, or is there something that y'all keep talking about and coming back to that you haven't been yet that you're really, trying to save up money to go to or anything like that?
There's a few places that I want to go. They know which ones it is, but I think the main place I really want to go to is Ancient Ramin.
Yeah,
which is it's apparently the oldest bar because it was the oldest inn in Britain apparently. So
oh, wow.
That's where I want to go there. Apparently, it's had a lot of activity there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anything that's been around that long, it's probably got so much history and so many things that could have happened there that it would have to be.
Yeah, loads and loads of teams have investigated that over the years, so it's definitely had enough publicity. But I'd go there as well, I think.
The Rams Inn, Sam says, is on his bucket list. Where is the Rams Inn? Do you know? I don't even know.
It's where is it? Let me think.
It's
in Gloucestershire. South. It's in Gloucestershire.
Gloucestershire. I don't even know where it is.
He's saying it sits on a ley line, so
it's far away.
Yeah, he's talking
about because what else is near that as well, which I'd actually love to go to, is Stonehenge.
Oh yeah,
Stonehenge is quite close to it, isn't it? I would absolutely love to go there.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
It would be on my list just to go because
right.
One of them places you want to see, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't imagine anybody passing up an opportunity to see that.
Yeah.
And he's saying that this inn sits on a ley line. I wonder if that ley line is Stonehenge around the ley line too. Then I guess it probably is. if it's near there, you know.
It's I don't know how I know it is quite close to there, but I don't know.
Yeah. I know they say that like you know, the ley lines really make places more active, and the and limestone, isn't it? And like if there's running water nearby, or if there's limestone, things like that. So
yeah, I believe that about the water. I really do believe that. That's a conductor. Yeah.
I do too, because like a lot of times when you see people and they've investigated these places, and there are there's tons of evidence, there usually is a water source nearby or something like that. So it would make sense that would be a natural energy, or you know, something that would amp up activity. I think it all adds up.
I'll say one of the natural elements. So.
Hey, Adrian.
I think going out in nature in general is really good to do stuff. What places we've been to.
Well, if I could ask one again, we was talking about equipment and everything a while ago. What I know you use Ouija boards sometimes, or have in the past. What would you say to somebody that was just starting and got one?
Make sure you know how to use it properly.
Right.
Do your research.
Yeah, do your research. Yeah.
Don't do it on your own.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Don't do it if you're not sure. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not a toy. They was originally made as a toy, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not a toy.
You know, because some people say, well, it's just another way to communicate. And the other one's like, no, don't touch it at all. You know, you'll get possessed. Or, you know.
Yeah.
No, you don't get possessed.
I think there's a lot of there's a lot of misinformation about boards.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. Because really, honestly, like even the apps on your phone, or the dowsing rods, anything, if you don't use it correctly, to me, that's just as. Do you know what I mean? You have to use all that stuff.
Yeah, they know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, and you know, people say, "Oh no, not the board." You know, like this. Oh, you know, but you can use this, but you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you know, any of the tools that you can use, you're trying to communicate and open that communication, and I don't see it being any different. It's just another tool myself. I think a lot of people I wonder if, and this is just a personal theory, I don't even know, but I'm wondering if the fear factor that's connected to the Ouija boards, I mean, so many people fear them so much more, if that somehow has affected the bad experiences, the number of bad experiences people have had. Because I do think that there's something about how you approach the things you're going into. If you're scared to death when you touch it, I would think that would affect maybe what was attracted to it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Energy like putting out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do see what you're saying. Yeah, fear with people.
Yeah, and I would think that something more negative would be be more attracted to coming to talk to somebody and messing with somebody that was scared to death. You know, I mean, it just seems like
right.
Because I think even the spirits as well, like when with the sort of communication we've had, I think even they are quite vocal about the fact if they are doing something and it makes them laugh, they will tell you. You know, it's like it's going to scare you or something.
Yeah.
You know, they're laughing, they'll tell you. So I see how it would be for people, you know, if they was like really scared and stuff. And
yeah, that's what I always tell people too. Like when we talk to people on these interviews, or we just talk to people in general about paranormal and things. Some people, you know, I think if somebody is dead set, like I do not want to use a Ouija board, I don't think you should use it. I mean, that's fine. It's not for you. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. But you know, or if they don't like, you know, tarot, or they don't like, you know, pendulums or whatever they don't like, if you don't like it, it's not for you, that's fine. But I do think that all these things have a place. You know, I think all these things have a place in the community, and there's some people that really do well with them and get a lot of information, you know, a lot of evidence. So
yeah. I do cards as well, so like I read them and that. And I practice other forms of divination and stuff as well. So
yeah. Do you use the cards sometimes on investigations, or just when you do readings for people?
Generally when I do readings for people, but I have brought them before, didn't I, to your house?
Yeah.
How did that go? Was it good, or?
I would say interesting. Yeah, for me. I don't know about anybody else, but interesting.
Would you do it again, or is it something that you don't recommend?
No, I'd do it if we decided to. I'd bring my only one deck with me though.
Yeah, not 20.
Yeah.
No, I'd only bring one deck. Yeah.
It'd be hard for you to choose which one. You got so many.
Yeah.
She's got loads.
Yeah.
I have actually. I was counting them the other day because I've recently added more decks, but I've got like some of them are like mini packs. So, well, like little decks.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll show you an example. One example. Right. So these.
Do you think? Well, that's another thing. Do you prefer the Oracle decks or the Tarot decks?
Ooh, I have a mix.
Mix of both.
Yeah.
And I wonder too if, and I mean, this is just the question because a lot of people, I haven't heard of a lot of teams using the tarot on investigations. They may, but it's not something you hear of a lot. I wonder too if it would depend on how much activity you get from it or information you get from it on which deck you chose for the site or the spirit. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know how like if you go to a reading for a person, they maybe are more drawn to like the angel deck or the animal deck or whatever. Like, I wonder if it'd be the same for spirits at a location. If you might get more.
I mean, I suppose you could, but I've never really done that way. Yeah, because it's not something we really do with it with a investigation side of things. It's only where we brought one deck along, but yeah, I suppose you could.
It just got me thinking about it. It's not something I've heard of.
Yeah. I suppose you could just like ask for guidance, obviously, before, like you do before you do your readings,
Yeah, I guess, and ask them, which deck you want to use. That'd be something interesting to do sometime, and just kind of see what you got.
We might try that now. Try that now. Why not?
Have you ever used tarot, David, in your investigations or your team?
Not in investigations or anything. Just like them, just with people.
Yeah. Let's see. Sam's saying that he's seen people use dice with letters on them in an investigation.
Oh.
I've not seen that. I've not seen that, David. How did that work, Sam? Like, you mean letters just like for them to kind of almost, I guess, be like a Ouija board, like spelling things out? Is that what that was? And did they make them, or is this something you buy? I'm not familiar with that. Are you familiar with that? Any of y'all?
No, it sounds interesting though.
Yeah. Anything like that I'm interested in hearing about. I just hadn't seen that before.
Would it be like rune stones?
It sounds like runes, doesn't it? Yeah, like runes. But most of the time they have different ancient writing on them. I've not seen them just with like modern letters. I've got a big box of Scrabble pieces. I guess you could like throw them out. No, I'm just kidding.
We're too much alike. That's what I was literally thinking of when that popped up.
I have Scrabble pieces I was using for crafts. I made some like Christmas things and stuff. That's what made me think of, because most of the time you don't see the newer ones. Well, here he's saying something else. Let's see what he says.
Oh, mercy.
Yes, alphabetical. Yes, they ask questions and throw them out and get it's runes.
Wow.
They're probably using runes, I guess, but modern runes of some sort, I suppose. I don't know. That's interesting.
That's interesting.
Look that one up.
Yeah.
Have to make me
We'll have to have a
Yeah,
look at that one, Gemma.
say that'd be something that we'd
Are you looking them
try,
up?
probably.
Yeah, yeah. We'll check that out, Sam. I've not heard of it.
Anya's looking it up now.
We're all gonna be good. We'll
That's
be good
it now. You set her off and there we go. That'll be the new thing that comes on.
You never know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it could be interesting, you know.
Yeah, you've got to try things, haven't you? But I think most of us, to be honest, would try virtually anything with the communication and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I tell people, you know, try different things, different, you know, see what works for you, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think like each of us really, obviously we have something that we're more comfortable with, but yeah, I think we just try anything. It's like if I don't know, some people well, we had that some people called us some things. Was it
spirits? You mean spirits saying stuff to you, or do you mean
people calling us freaks and like weirdo and we're
crazy?
We're scary apparently because of the stuff we do.
Yeah,
haters gonna hate.
Well, and
we have had spirits tell us to get lost in not so nice ways.
Even like when we've had the spirit up, and I'm not joking. It's come through bored.
It said what? Bored.
They was bored. Oh, I'm gonna ask you some questions. Nikki, gonna ask you some questions. Why?
Dang, man.
How does she?
That'd be
like, some of the stuff is like really comical, but it's like they've got, you know, like proper emotion sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like
that's but to me that adds credibility to your investigations, so that the different sites you go to, that they have such different personalities. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you communicate, like if you were making it up, like when you watch a lot of the shows and you know somebody's fake and you watch it, they just have things moving or they have whatever, but they don't have the literally different personalities of spirits they're speaking to from investigation to investigation. So to me, that's another sign of a team that's credible, that's really getting info. You know what I mean? Because you wouldn't be you would be the same over time. You wouldn't be different and bored. And
I mean, we get some that come through that obviously sometimes it's relatives that come through, but not like continuous or anything. But every so often we'll get somebody that comes in like related to Nikki, Anya, and Manda, or Anya, or sometimes me. Do you know what I mean? But mainly them. And he's got one in particular, their dad. He's got his own personality when he comes through, and
yeah,
he's basically asked for a drink before, I need a cup of tea, and I said something and I can't remember what it was, and he went duh, and I was like
duh. Yeah.
Do you all use the Estes method a lot? Sam's out here talking about that and how he's like wrote down questions before and you know seen the answer. Do you do that much, or is that something you all use?
Yeah,
we do Estes, but I wouldn't say it's structured like that.
How do you all do it?
We do it just like maybe blindfolds on and see what's coming out, you know, see what comes out, and then so one person will have blindfold on. Sometimes obviously, well, we will some of us will ask questions, or one of us will, and we try to do it quiet, obviously, so the other person can't hear because they've got earphones on as well, and then it's whatever comes out. And sometimes you get really good stuff and it really makes a lot of sense. Like you'll get one spirit and it's like they're telling their story.
Right.
Wow.
But then other times it's just on top of each other.
Yeah.
It's like loads and loads and loads, and it don't matter which one of us does it. I mean, Manda's had it before, and she's had to come out where it was screaming and stuff on it, man.
Yeah. It's done that with Nikki as well.
It's a mix.
One time, I can't remember if it was Jack or Sunny that was doing it, and it ended up like going like giving out a shopping list. I can't remember if any of you can remember that, but it was like saying about potatoes and fish, and it was like into a shopping list.
Oh yeah, the shopping list. Can you remember that one?
Yes, yeah.
What was it doing with the shopping list?
Like reeling off a shopping list.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
basically what he was getting shopping.
Like milk
Yeah.
and stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
we've had a
reading it
spirit.
out.
Yeah, we've had a spirit come through claiming to be Ed Gein.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yes, we did.
Was
Yeah.
it a location where there was a connection to them, or
Nope.
Nope.
No, we was doing the board,
Yeah.
and it came up and it said,
It was blindfolded board at first.
yeah, we was doing the blindfolded, which we do. We do the blindfolded spirit board. But yeah, we was blindfolded, and it said that it's Ed Gein, and that he was going to kill Anya.
oh wow, oh wow,
They don't like me very much.
No, some of them don't like
Yeah,
me. do
he was asking
They
me
always
because
attack me.
and he was like he said he came through like a few times. He was saying his last name till he was saying Geen, and it was like right, it's like Ed, and I was like oh.
Oh no.
that's scary though. Really, I mean,
Yeah,
you
he was
know,
asking him if he was like sorry for the stuff he done. He wasn't, was he?
oh
Didn't
wow,
say
yeah.
no. They'll
Well-
say sometimes if they're guilty, they'll come through and say that. They'll say guilty.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. That's crazy. That's kind of scary though. I don't know how I'd feel about that if he came through wanting to kill me. I don't know. I probably would have been like.
The thing is, Anya actually, I would say, like with some of the darker ones, Anya does get targeted quite a lot. But she gets
Really?
some nicer ones as well, like, you know, obviously the children or whatever, because I think it's because Anya can obviously talk softer and stuff, and she's younger, so it's like, so I go towards her. But the negative stuff as well, a lot of the time, and it's even happened with Amanda as well.
Yeah.
But usually, I don't, not into rude, but it literally does seem to go towards Anya.
Yeah.
You've got a spirit magnet.
Well,
You
you
know?
know, a lot of groups say that. I've heard a lot of groups say that they have somebody in the group that tends to be the magnet that gets the bulk of it, and then they have somebody that tends to be like almost a block. I've heard some groups say like when John was in the room, we got nothing. When he walked out, everything started coming in. It happens a lot, and they joke about it. You know, like he doesn't get as much as us, and we'll see. Do y'all have anybody that things are that maybe somehow shields more than others without meaning to, or if you have anybody in your group like that, or do y'all kind of get a lot of information and a lot of activity?
I think we all get. I don't think any of us like block it. I think that I'm not very spiritual, but Gemma seems to think that I am. I mean, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But Gemma's like, but you have got abilities. You have got abilities. And I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Everybody
has.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, she would have been drawn to that motel for a start. Let's use that as an example. You wouldn't have been.
Right. Yeah.
No, there must have been something there that was calling for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Have y'all
Yeah.
ever had a skeptic in your group or go with you though? Somebody that just didn't believe at all and you took them anyway? I mean, like I think that's always interesting when somebody that's a complete skeptic goes with you and something happens to them.
I think we have.
I think about
Complete
skeptical.
skeptic.
No, not complete skeptic. Well, obviously, I've got family members that don't really believe in paranormal.
It's not really their thing.
No, it's not their thing.
Until something happens and then they holler at you,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Oh!
Well, I can't explain this one.
That
Yeah.
sounds like our John.
You are?
That sounds like our John.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
Does John, does he believe now or not, or no?
Still no.
No,
Maybe someday, maybe.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just too much that happens. I find it amazing people can't believe it all because there's so much, you know. Um, yeah. He said
Yeah.
he thinks spirits know. I agree, they do, and I think some people, like most of the time when you hear of somebody in the group that gets less activity, it is somebody that's really skeptical or isn't as open to things, you know. So I think it does affect the information they get.
I think some people just don't believe because they don't believe, but then I think some people don't believe because they're frightened.
True.
I found that when I've spoken to them, I've spoken to people before, and they're scared.
They'd rather not think it's true, right? Yeah. I could see that. And like you were talking about, even like I think all these things are always effective. It's just sometimes, like for instance, that the essays method, and you were talking about how you used it and how sometimes you get a lot of information and sometimes it's like screaming and you know all kinds of voices and it doesn't really make sense. I think it's always probably working, but when you get a whole lot of spirits trying to communicate over top of each other, it makes it make no sense sometimes, maybe. You know what I mean? So it's not, it's still good and you're still getting good information, but we can't figure it out because there maybe is so much activity. Do you know what I'm saying? So I always wonder if it isn't that, because yeah, that's my theory on that. I think that when it's all screaming and chaos, it's probably a lot there.
Yeah, I mean, I think as well sometimes we do get obviously spirits that prefer to talk to certain people.
Yeah.
Like maybe if we ask a question, it won't do it. So sometimes what we'll do is like take it in turns to ask, and then you normally see which ones the spirit responds to more, and then just let them do it. whichever one of us it is.
That's interesting,
I
but
mean,
you know, people do that. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you probably maybe rather talk to David than me, or maybe rather talk to, you know, Amanda, or you know what I mean? So that would make sense that spirits would be like that, you know?
Yeah, of course, definitely. Yeah, it's not everybody wants to talk to each other, do they? So like you said, it's a communication thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's try to see here the comments. Yeah, I think it is best to go with an open mind. I agree. And do you think these places like the motel that y'all found that hadn't been investigated, or homes that maybe nobody has investigated before, tend to get more evidence than say a place that's been on TV investigated 30, 40 times? Or do you think that places that are investigated more often get more activity?
I would think it's places that's not been investigated much.
Yeah.
Because if you've got spirit, if you go to a place where there's constantly people going and trying to talk to spirits, they'll probably get fed up of it.
Yeah.
It drains their energy, doesn't it?
Yeah. And if you go to somewhere that's not been investigated as much, there'll be more chatting.
I think, isn't that what you always say, David? You kind of agree with that, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. We've talked about it a lot, and that's kind of what he was saying. He's saying, like, if you had, you know, ghosts spirits that have been there for years and years and never had a chance to speak, that they probably going to be, you know, itching to talk
more
to
respect.
you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that. I mean, obviously, the motel we went to, I'd love to go back, and I know we've all said it to each other, but I definitely want to go back there.
Yeah.
It's not a place I want to leave forever. I want us to go back. We've got to. So.
Well, we're going to be sharing out your all's page and stuff on our page, on mine and on David's Dark Hope Paranormal, and hopefully help send some more people your way. And I look forward to seeing these places you're going back to, and see, is it Sarah, the little girl? See if she shows back up, or you know, is that what's her name? You know, I'm going to be watching, trying to check it all out and see. Can you think of any other questions for him today, David?
Not offhand.
David, Sam's saying a good thing here. He says another thing too. We're on Spirits Time. You can go to a place 1,000 times. Each time you go, we will have different activities. Sometimes nothing, sometimes a lot. And yeah, I think everybody agrees.
Yeah, I think that's the big difference. I think as well, isn't it? Because obviously, like sometimes when you go, it is like that. It's like it'll be nothing, and then other times it goes really calm and still, and that something's going to happen because it's like gone like deadly quiet, as we call it, deadly quiet. But yeah, definitely, I would say it's not like in the shows where, like the ones for TV, always something's happened. There's always a demon, as well, which is like.
Well, that's a question. That'll be my last question, because we've been on here for like an hour, and I don't want to keep you all day. I just appreciate y'all taking time to talk to us. We're so glad you did, and it's been so good to talk to you.
Yeah.
You mentioned the demons. I think demons are very rare. I mean, on these TV shows, they're like every other day they have a demon following around, But have you ever crossed anything that you feel like might have been a demon in an investigation?
I don't know 100%, but we was told by other people, another person.
Yeah.
But I would say if it gets darker, we do have a tendency to feel that. You can feel sort of the energy change because it's heavier.
Yeah.
No, it's just very, very evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like dark energy. I wouldn't necessarily say a demon.
Yeah. I think a lot of times when people have a lot of negative activity or things and they say it was a demon, it can be like it was an evil person and it's an evil spirit.
Yeah, I believe that as well, that they make themselves out to be something that they're not, so they'll scare you, sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. And I apologize. I'm getting some feedback here. I don't know if it's on my end. It probably is. I don't know. Where is that? If I've killed you all with the feedback on my headphones today or something, I apologize. I have to try to work on that. David, can you think of anything else that we've missed or anything?
No, it was great.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's been really interesting. I mean, really, and I'm going to look up those alphabet things that Sam's talking about and try to research that a little bit. And I'm going to be watching y'all's page because now I feel like I know you. I'm invested. I want to see the rest of the story. I want to go hunt with you, but I'm not close enough. So. I'd be like, take me, because I don't think you're weird. I don't think you're weird or scary at all. I really like y'all.
Really good divination as well on the page, and we cover different topics as well in our group. That is so.
Okay.
If anybody wants to come for that. And Nikki's got crime.
Yes.
Which is
I have a section off it, which is crime.
Oh, okay.
I do crime.
I like that too. That's very interesting.
That is the newest area of DPL, which is a DPL crime page, which Nikki does, obviously, and then Anya obviously helps us sometimes with the information and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll post the link. Sam's wanting the link because he wants to check you out too. I'll post the link here on Hanks and Hollow's page on their Facebook page, and you can check it out and share and like things on their page for him, and share and like our stuff, and try to spread the love around, guys. Okay. And to Adrian and to Sam and anybody else that's been watching along today, we're so glad you're here.
Weird and scary is good. It's good.
We like weird and scary too, don't we? Okay. Adrian, I'll hand it up for you and repost it. I think you all have 2 or 3 links, don't you guys? I'll try to get all their links.
We have we have the page, we have the private group, we have a share group, and the crime page. So
okay. I'll post them, and then you all just double check me, and if I leave anything out, just message it to me, and I'll put it on there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
It'll be I got to go do something in a minute, but it'll be a little bit later today. But this afternoon I'll have those all posted. Okay.
Thank you.
But thank you all so much, and thanks for joining us today. I've had a good time.
I've enjoyed it as well. So
Yeah.
Okay. Have a great rest of your day.
yeah,
Thank you.
Bye.
You too.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.